Now creating a placket, sewing that, I have here in my centre front, I cut away 1 centimetre. My final placket are supposed to be 3. Then I got these 2 pieces. I place it here on each side, and now I'm going to sew it afterwards with 1 centimetre of seam allowance. Make sure you place them so they are in the same height. Then you've got to decide where you're going to cut it to. It is sometimes a nice idea to make a mark, because then you're sure you're sewing it to the exact same spot. But because if you don't do that, it won't be in an ankle, right ankle here, then it would be a little bit strange. So again, as usual, do your preparation, because that's going to save a lot of time later. Okay, another thing I just had to remember to say is that I put in some fusing on half of this, and that's the one that goes to the bag, because sometimes if you put fusing on a fabric, the look of the fabric will change, and that's the reason why I put it on the back side, because then my front will still look the same as my front piece. Okay, let's start sewing. So I'll take one side at a time, and as I said earlier, 1 centimetre of seam allowance. Every time you're doing anything, make sure that if you got 1 centimetre of seam allowance, use 1 centimetre of seam allowance. Not half, not 1.5, just exactly. Now I'm sewing to that exactly spot where I drawn my line. And the same about the other side, 1 centimetre of seam allowance, and from the exact same spot as the other one, now to be able to fold this to the bag and make it look nice, I need to cut it. I'll turn it around and only cut in the front pieces, not in the placket. I cut down to that last stitching in each side, and now I can iron it, fold my seam into the placket and fold it, and again. So now what I'm going to do is iron here. I'm going to fold it so it's exactly 3 centimetre, and then I'm going to fold my seam as well. So now you see, now I have ironed it. I have ironed my seam into the placket, I folded my placket, and I ironed the seam allowance as well. So now it's possible to stitch it here, and of course I'm going to do that from the right side. I just stitch it 2 millimetre from the edge. That was one side, and then the other as well, 2 millimetre. So now you see it is attached. Now I can place these two upon each other like that, pin it, because that's how I would like it to be. Now I put these to the back, and you'll see here is my cutting. Now it's possible for me to sew it here. Not at all do anything about this, just from stitch to close the bottom of it. And voila, you got the placket like that, with a nice corner, down here, and at the back this thing here is sticking out and it's not looking nice, so I'll just overlock it afterwards. But now it's ready, this placket is ready for button and buttonholes. Did you like what you just seen, and do you want to learn more? Then subscribe. I'll constantly develop and upload new things, all based upon the professional way of sewing. All the best from me, and good luck with your work.